Hello and welcome to India Today. This is Anita in conversation with Shivoham, who's the man behind the great transformation of Ranbir Kapoor for his upcoming film Animal. Hi Shivoham.
How are you?
To India Today.
Thank you.
So to begin with, do tell us what was the process firstly and how you were approached, and you have been working with Ranbir for quite some time if I'm not wrong. So just give me a detail about how you came into the picture and how it started altogether.
So I was working on another project for Chandigarh Kare Aashiki, and I was in Delhi. Tabhi Ranbir ka phone aaya, and I think Ayan had I've known Ayan for a very long time, so Ayan recommended to Ranbir ke why don't you train with Shivoham? So Ranbir called, and I came to Bombay and met him, and yeah, there was a whole conversation. It's been now a year and a half. We started training last January. और कॉन्वर्सेशन वही थी कि फ़िलहाल एक रोम कॉम के लिए शूट हो रही है जिसके लिए द लुक इज़ वेरी लीन काइंड ऑफ अ लुक एंड देन मूविंग ऑन उसके बाद जब एनिमल होगा देन द लुक इज़ गोना बी वेरी डिफरेंट तो देयर विल बी सर्टेन एस्पेक्ट्स एंड फेजेस टू द ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन तो वी स्टार्टेड ऑफ स्लो एंड नाउ दिस इज़ आवर फर्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट विच इज़ कमिंग टू एन एंड एंड एनिमल विल बी स्टार्टिंग सून तो उसका भी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन देन विल बी अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी.
So to begin with, what was the first brief that you were given for that rom-com especially?
It has to be a lean look. It has to be a lean, cut-up, muscular look. Nothing too big. Very एकदम चोर बॉडी जिसे बोलते हैं कि टी शर्ट में पता नहीं चलेगी बट जब टी शर्ट उतरेगी तो सब फिर मसल्स जो लीननेस है वो दिखेगी.
So Ranbir is always known to have a lean body. He is never put on weight. He's never, built that muscular. How difficult for him as a person was it for him to, build that muscle?
If you go to see when it comes to an actor and when it comes to on camera, it's very different because camera pe you don't really need to be very big. To look good and to look lean and muscular, you just need to be. And Ranbir is already a tall guy. His shoulders are already very broad. So it's TV pe ya jab camera pe when he comes on screen and there's even little bit leanness with definition, automatically he will look big. So luckily that is an advantage for us. So we didn't have to go too overboard. We just had to make sure we do the right training, look after the diet, and we've managed to achieve it so far. But still, there is time to go. Yeah.
You mentioned that when you started, it was last year, right? And in between that last year to now, we have gone through couple of lockdowns, couple of breaks. How was it to manage that between all this lockdowns, and was he able to, continue?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we live very close to each other. So lockdown or no lockdown, of course, we would be training. There's a gym in the building where we train. So luckily, we don't have to go out anywhere. So in his own comfort and everything, it was very much able to continue everything.
And how is he as a person? How willingly he has submitted himself to you?
He's a superb human being. I've got to know. I mean, I've known him, but this is the first time I've got to know him, and I absolutely love training him. Super punctual, super down to earth, very well mannered, and he's one of those people ke if they've appointed you to do something, then they trust you and they leave everything to you. There are questions, of course, he asks questions, which is a good thing even for me as a professional, that people should ask questions. Ke why are we doing whatever we're doing? Because it's not about blindly following. You as a person should also, as a client or a student, should also know why you are doing whatever you're doing, okay, so that you understand yourself better. And that process has been very, very rewarding.
Tell us more about the Animal. When you start the shoot for Animal, what is the process for that and how difficult will that be?
Animal का तो फिलहाल उतना नहीं बोल सकते because it's still, the process is still happening. But it's going to be a very different kind of a look, that is for sure. It will be a very different kind of look other than what we are preparing for now. So between this rom-com and between the Animal, you will get to see definitely two different Ranbir Kapoors.
So what kind of diet he's he on right now, and will it change when you start training for Animal?
तो of course अभी look lean है तो जो diet है जो training है वो उस leanness के लिए है. जब Animal का जब उसकी तैयारी चालू होगी, जब diet उसके लिए होगा, training उसके लिए भी अलग होगी. तो फिलहाल we are following a ketogenic diet. His body responds very well to a ketogenic diet, and he's always been a person जिसको कार्ब्स का उतना शौक नहीं है, तो बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो कीटो डाइट करने से डरते हैं बिकॉज उस पर चावल नहीं है, रोटी नहीं है, तो ब्रेड नहीं है, तो उससे डरते कि मैं कैसे करूँगा. But he's very good with it, so luckily that's a good thing, and his body is responding very well to it.
Does he get cheat meals?
Treat meals, we call it treat meals, क्योंकि अगर आप उतनी मेहनत करोगे तो आपको एक treat तो reward मिलना चाहिए. But that is, I've left it up to him. I mean, he doesn't have that much of a sweet tooth, so that's completely up to him. Maybe once in 10 days, if he feels like having something or treating something, वो कबाब या हरे भरे कबाब या गलौटी कबाब जैसे वैसे टाइप के ट्रीट मील्स खाएगा, बट ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
So far, even Ayushmann is one of the actors who have never put on weight on screen. Chandigarh Kare Ashki was his first film. Now Ranbir is doing the same thing. How do you see the actors who are lean, stepping into a role where it requires something else? How do you see them, and how difficult it is to train them?
I always believe, and I tell Ranbir also, it is always good to maintain a mid ground. Leanness rakho, zyada muscular, of course, because if that character doesn't want them to be muscular, then it cannot look muscular. And they're amazing characters, actors who love to fit into the character fully. But उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप एक्सरसाइज ही छोड़ दो. एक्सरसाइज करोगे तो फिट रहोगे, आपका एनर्जी लेवल्स हाई होंगे, आपका जो आउटपुट है कैमरा के सामने, दैट विल बी मच बेटर. सो आई हैव आल्सो टोल्ड हिम कि व्हाटएवर वी डू, वी विल ऑलवेज स्टे एट दिस पॉइंट. यहाँ से फिर अगर एक कदम नीचे जाना है या 2 कदम ऊपर जाना है, इट विल बी मच ईजियर टू डू दैट. So that is the understanding that we have, and that is, I think, the understanding that everyone should have. You don't have to be 6-pack and big biceps, big shoulders 24/7, 365 days of the year. But ऐसी बॉडी तो आप डेफिनेटली मेंटेन कर सकते हो जहाँ पर आपका फिटनेस लेवल हाई है. और अगर आप टी शर्ट पहन रहे हो तो दिखेगी नहीं कि बॉडी है, पर जब अगर टी शर्ट उतारने के बाद एक भी सीन हो पिक्चर में, उसके लिए आपको दिन रात मेहनत करने की जरूरत नहीं है. थोड़ी सी आपने अपनी डाइट चेंज कर ली, थोड़ा सा कार्डियो कर लिया और गोल्स आ गए.
What was the most difficult thing for Ranbir to do when he came on the first day or in between when you all were training?
I don't think anything was difficult for him because again हमारे goals इतने overreaching नहीं थे. We were not reaching for the sky. It was something that we had to do, and we had time to progress. So luckily it was a very smooth journey, I would say. Of course, जब shooting होती है तो we get less time to work out, but we make sure, I mean, that is my responsibility and my job to see कि even in the less amount of time, how can we do the maximum in that time. So it's been good.
So how long will he take to complete that look, or to achieve that glow?
I think he's already in that look. I think he's already in that look. It's going really well, but of course we still have वो बोलते हैं ना एक, I mean, once you've already made the entire painting or the picture, the final touches, so it's a smooth process. It's a slow thing which will happen, and by the time we reach our goal, goal time, we'll be ready.
And how much has he lost weight, or have you asked him to gain weight or anything?
No, he's maintained. He's of course put on a little bit because when you do weight training and you're eating the right way, then you will end up putting on muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. तो muscle का weight थोड़ा तो increase होगा. But अपने को, I mean, weight से उतना लेना देना नहीं है. I mean, as long as he looks good in front of the camera and he looks good and he feels good, that is what matters.
Who else are you training, Shivoham?
At the moment, no one, because I trained Varun for a month, and we were supposed to train for long term as well, but we couldn't because he had to travel, and I'm already committed to Ranbir, so maybe after this we'll see. But filhal to it doesn't leave much space, because even I like to give my complete attention to one person, and with actors, of course, if you have to travel, then you don't want to let the other actor suffer. So at the moment, it's just one person, and I'm really enjoying training Ranbir right now.